The following is an exclusive presentation of the Dragon Sports Network.
You are looking live at Paul H. Muse Field at David Carpenter Stadium in the border town, where tonight along the state line, a border battle ensues as Junction City and Haynesville meet on the gridiron for the 12th time all-time. 5 Dragon legends were immortalized pregame. The lights are bright and kickoff is near. Don't go anywhere, folks. You know the drill. We've got all the action for you live from start to finish on the Dragon Sports Network. Good evening. I'm Jacob Pumphrey, and I'm atop the Emerson Brewer press box here along the state line. I'm joined by my partners Daniel Wood and Derek Rocket. And, fellas, I tell you, there's a coolness in the air and a budding rivalry back in action again. It's hard to beat a football Friday night in Junction City.
I'm telling you, this weather's starting to get right for football, too. And these two teams right here, the last few games have been very good, and I'm kind of ready to see how this one's going to go, see the improvements that Junction's made over the last few weeks.
Absolutely.
Yeah, when you look at last week, Junction City was kind of left, I want to say they were left out to dry, but dry would not be the right term to use, because if you look at the amount of rain the entire state of Arkansas got last Friday night, 3/4 of it happened in Chico County, right over the top of the stadium that they were supposed to play in. It seemed like absolutely just downpour after downpour, lightning strikes all over the place. But you got to think the Dragons are going to come out a little hungry tonight, since it's been a couple of weeks since they've taken the field.
Oh, definitely. If it had been a conference game, we wouldn't have left there at 12 o'clock at night, probably, to be honest with you. But, I mean, I was really looking forward to last week, too. But, you know, the weather, I mean, certain things happen like that, and you can't really get the kids out there in the danger of lightning and thunder and stuff like that. So you kind of got to let things go how they go and then prepare for the next week.
Yeah, that's right. You're right about that. Haynesville with their captains on the far side of the field, set to meet at midfield. Junction City heading up the hill, getting ready to take the field. Just about 4 minutes until kickoff. Derek, I'll throw this one to you. When you think about Junction City not having played the last couple of weeks, what, from your perspective, what is something you'd want to see Junction City do as quickly as possible tonight, quickly in terms of as early as they can in the football game?
Well, they got to show it's their house. They got to show some dominance, and they got to show they're here to play football. You got 2 weeks of preparation. I mean, you got double the time to get ready for a tough Haynesville team. And I'm really hoping they get the ball rolling on offense real quick.
And it's a good thing you mentioned up the offense. Daniel, talk about what you've seen out of Junction City's offense so far. I mean, obviously one of the big question marks coming in, and I guess one of the things that we've harped on, and not trying to be negative about it, but just it is something to talk about, has been the offensive line. But there's no lack of playmakers out there for Junction City.
Definitely no lack of playmakers. I mean, I think one of the biggest things they had too was that they didn't have an identity on offense. And I think in the Lafayette County game, when they started to go with the double tight formation, the split back, kind of trying to outman the opposing defense. And I think that was what worked well for them. I felt like that was a game plan that they can use further on. But the passing game is going to have to develop over the year. You got some outside receivers right there with Key, and you got Carter, and you can hit them. It's going to be some big plays, but you got to get it out there to them.
And when you look at Haynesville, it's going to be a methodical approach all night from the Golden Tornado, whether it's on the defensive side of the football or that famed wing T triple offense that they love to run, and they've been running down there for ages.
Definitely.
And for Junction City, it'll be key to see how that defense, because the defense has really been one of the calling cards for Junction City, how they will respond to seeing something that they're probably only going to see really once this season. Chances are once this season. And so that'll definitely be an important part of this contest tonight, especially early on. Captains are at midfield for Haynesville, number 54, Camarion Ivory. And I believe that is number 4, Toby Franklin. For Junction City, Jacorian Key, Anthony Williams, and Corey DeBose. And nice little crowd on hand, especially for the visitors out of Claiborne Parish. It's good to see these two teams battling it out. 12th meeting all time. Rivalry just got renewed a couple of years back after Arkansas added week 0, and Louisiana has since. Junction City's won the toss. They will take the football, so we'll see from the Dragon offense first to start tonight's game.
Yeah, I was glad to see the Haynesville get put on the schedule back in, well, I believe it was 15 was the first year.
I believe so, yes, sir.
And it was, I mean, that was exciting because that was a time that both teams were right there at state championship runs each year, and it was a good matchup.
And it's one of those things, I think, when you ask both of these coaches, by playing these, you know, win or lose. Coach Carpenter even said it this week. Win or lose, you become a better team by playing a team like Haynesville. That's just this bottom line. You become a better team, and it's going to help you in the long run by being able to play such a physical and really solid opponent like the Golden Tornado. Junction City set to take the field, and they are headed towards their sidelines as week 3 of the Arkansas high school football season is set to begin. The Dragons will receive the opening kickoff. They will defend the south end zone. And Franklin will tee it up for Haynesville at the 40.
It looks like on the sideline, just looking out there, it looked like Junction's missing Player of the Week from the Lafayette County game, Jalen Ivey. I mean, that's going to hurt on offensive line because they ran behind him a good bit that game against Lafayette County. We're going to see how they do with replacing him up front.
Yeah, they did. It'll definitely be a next man up, and fortunately, anybody familiar with Junction City football, there's not too many of them there, and it just from a lack of depth.
Yeah.
And so you're right, Daniel. That will be something to keep an eye on, especially in the early going. Junction City to receive the football. Williams, the deep man, he's in the middle. Correction, that was Key in the middle, but it'll be received by, I believe that's going to be DeBose. He's got it at the 25, and he won't go too much further, but there is a flag. Comes in late, and we'll see what the
It's going to be a face mask, I
call
believe.
is. That was flag came in during the tackle, so I agree, Dan. It's probably about really the only thing you can call.
It's going to be a face mask.
So that's going to help Junction City right out of the gate. Dragons are going to benefit from the face mask penalty. That's going to put them in pretty good field position here to start the opening drive of the contest. Double twins formation for the Dragons. We've seen it often out of the Junction City offense this season. DeBose will command the offense out of the shotgun. Jadavion Williams set to his right. Haynesville in the 43 offense will actually move a backer out onto
Thurman out there.
Yeah, onto Thurman. Snap's going to be sprint out right. Williams to provide some blocking, and Thurman had to lay out for it, in and out of his hands. Pass falls incomplete. Tried to hook up with him around the 48-yard line. Ball falls on the turf, bring up 2nd down and 10.
Looks like offensively, Junction's going to try to spread them out a little bit. I mean, Haynesville's normally been pretty good on the against the run defensively, so I guess they're going to try to spread them out a little bit, see if they can hit them on the outside, because that's one thing we've learned in the last few years. Haynesville has been susceptible to the pass.
When the side's different up front, you got to get them moving. You got to get them moving east to west. I doubt we're going to run it down their throats, as they do right there.
And they give it to Williams. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, so no gain for Jadavion on his first carry of the evening. 3rd down and 10 coming here for Junction City. 25 seconds into the contest.
I'd like to see them just try to run a route, get to the sticks. You know, just get to the sticks, get some momentum going for you offensively right here.
Hudson brings the play into the huddle. It'll be Carter and Key to the far side of the formation. Thurman and Hudson to the bottom. DeBose looks over to his right, says something to Williams. He's going to sprint out right, sets his feet, throws, and pass is incomplete. Never really had it in his grasp. Good coverage out there on the edge from the Golden Tornado secondary. Unsure of the number there.
Like number 1 maybe?
No, Dakota Camp out there providing the coverage, blanket coverage really.
Yeah, really and truly. But there was no chance to get a first down after that.
Yeah, definitely. It was about a 6-yard route. He had to come back to about 4.5 to catch it, and Camp was right there with him every step of the way. And now Golden Tornado will send back 2 returners, somewhat similar to how Junction City usually returns punts. Good snap. And DeBose, good punt, too. He's actually going to kick it nearly over the head of Camp. He's going to take it. He's going to reverse field back over toward the Haynesville sideline. He's being pursued. Williams trying to run him down. He's going to get by him. And he's finally
on the field.
Going to be tackled at around the 34-yard line. There is a flag on the field and also a Dragon shaken up.
Looked like a strata down. I saw they set the wall like we used to do back in the day. I didn't get to see what happened to Estrada right there, but it doesn't look good right now.
We're going to step aside for 30 seconds. We'll be back with more here on the Dragon Sports Network. 10:52 to play, first quarter action. Brian Estrada's on his feet, and they managed to actually jog off the field toward the Dragons sideline. Actually trying to go back into the defensive huddle, but obviously being down had to come back to the sideline for at least a play or two.
Yeah, can't quite do that.
And so yeah, they definitely won't let you do that. But I like the tenacity there to want to get back into the action as quickly as possible. So it was actually going to be, I believe, a hold on the return on Haynesville. So that's going to back the Golden Tornado up to their own 20-yard line. So consecutive penalties on the possession change to start the game for Haynesville. And so it benefits Junction City each time. And here we see the old wing T offense, two in the backfield. And they're going to throw first play from scrimmage, and they've got a man wide open. They've got two men wide open and incomplete, in and out of the hands. Usually that's something where they try to get those safeties cheating over the course of a couple of drives, but they absolutely wasted no time trying to hook up for 6 there. And if Alonzo Jackson is maybe a step further south, he hauls that in. And by now, boys, he's probably down in the Hardy Mart parking lot.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, he definitely caught him off guard right there because, I mean, Haynesville's
You got to
known for
think
the
here,
run.
Junction City's ready to play downhill. It's the first play from scrimmage, and then they do the boot, and then they had two men open deep in the secondary, not a Dragon within 10, 12 yards of them.
Good play call, try to set the tone.
It really was, So Junction dodges a bullet, 2nd and 10. They're going to get it right up the gut, the big fullback. That's going to be, I believe, Franklin, and he is going to carry a couple of Dragons after initial contact. That's going to be about a 7.5, maybe an 8-yard gain. It's going to be a manageable 3rd down for the Golden Tornado.
If I remember correctly, he had a heck of a game last year against Junction as well down there.
Yeah, he did. And one thing's for sure, the young men in the white jerseys and the gold pants certainly fill out that equipment really well. Some good-looking men on this sideline
lined up off sides
for Haynesville. And it's going to be an offsides on Junction City. So Dragons give them an easy one. And you got to make them earn the first downs.
You can't help it on a team like Haynesville.
You can't, especially a team that can grab 7 just by handing it to the fullback. Puts the football at the 33-yard line. Haynesville moving left to right, heading toward the home state. And they're going to give to the slot back, and he's going to have a lot of room along the left side. DeBose is the only man that can get him, unable to bring him down. And he will score on the 4th play of scrimmage for the Golden Tornado. That is 67 yards to the house. I believe that's Jacarius Turner. Went the distance. I tell you what, fellas, a lot of speed there from 5. He hit the corner, and once he got there, it's like he had found another gear. And DeBose had an angle on him, was the only man that could have gotten him, and nearly tripped him up. But credit Turner, tiptoeing down the sideline for 6.
Yeah, it looked like they just kind of outmanned Junction to that side over there. Got a little toss to the left. I couldn't tell if the guard pulled or something like that, but they definitely had Junction outmanned to that side.
Extra point attempt for Haynesville. Good snap, hold is down, and the kick for number 50, Tristan Rudd, is good. Timeout on the field, 10 minutes exactly remaining. First quarter action. Haynesville strike first in this border battle, 7-0 Golden Tornado. We're back in 30 on the Dragon Sports Network. Franklin with it teed up. He's set to kick it back to Junction City. Jacarius Turner, 67 yards to the house. And the extra point from Rudd was successful. That's the difference so far in this one. DeBose from his 8. He's going to work back toward the Dragons sideline. Gets behind a block, but going to be wrapped up and dropped from behind. I believe that was number 15 on the tackle. Do not have him listed on the roster.
20, I think 22. He was wrapped up by 15. 22 came in there.
22 finished the deal, so
yeah.
22 do not have one of those either. So
bear with us up here.
Yeah, bear with us up here. Good coverage there from the Golden Tornado special teams. Junction City with it, first down and 10. They'll operate off the near hash, moving right to left. Decked out in their all purple attire. 28-yard lines will they operate from. Trip set to the right. And they're waiting for the officials to get set along the far side. And that will signify the start of the play clock. DeBose out of the shotgun. Williams to his right, as are 3 receivers. Sprint out that side, going to dump it off easy. Pass is complete, and ball's on the ground. And that's going to be fortunate if Junction City was able to get back on that, because there was not too many Dragons there. And I think it was actually the receiver, Taylon Owens, who was able to get back on that football. So all of that for no gain. Completed pass, a fumble, and a recovery. Not necessarily the trifecta you're looking for here early on in this one. Yeah, under 9.5 to play.
With your 2 big receivers out here with Key and Carter, I mean, you got a big height difference out here. I'd like to see them, maybe get some type of jump ball or something like that, be able to make a play.
Key all by himself, kind of out here on an island, and he's going to look to him.
He heard you.
Going to go up top. He's got him. Oh, incomplete. Knocked out of his hands at the last second. That was pretty good coverage there. J.S. Bean. And he thwarts a big opportunity for Junction City. Daniel, I think they've got the press box bugs, buddy, because you called it right there.
Man.
Laid it up top, and Key.
Just a little bit more out in front.
A little bit more out in front. He probably would have been able to haul it in without much disturbance from Bean, but got his hand in there and was able to paw it away at the last minute.
With the pressure they show out here, too. I mean, you hit them with a double move. I mean, you might be able to get past them easily, but
well, they got the speed to catch up.
Yeah, they do have that.
Now third down and 10, and we've got flags again. I didn't see what the call was.
I didn't either.
That wasn't a delay of game symbol we just threw up though. Looked like a legal substitution.
I think they had too many leave the huddle, because there was no way that was 25 seconds between the end of that play. And so now Junction City 3rd and 15. DeBose pressured. He's going to have to throw on the run. He throws it out of bounds. Really no chance there for Carter to grab a hold of it, and it's going to be 4th down quickly for Junction City. So another drive stopped by the Golden Tornado, and the Dragons are going to have to give it back to Haynesville.
Yeah, you see, I guess you're trying to get DeBose out on the outside, because, I mean, the defensive line from Haynesville does have a little bit more of a size advantage on the offensive line from Junction. So I guess you're trying to sprint him out to the outside, give him a little bit more time, but I'm not sure.
I mean, to me, it's the right game plan. You just got to execute. So he's had a couple receivers in place, just wasn't able to haul it in, whether it be a pass thrown just a hair too short.
15, and it is going to be touched at the 49-yard line. So Haynesville will have it on Junction City's side of the field. 8:51 to play here in the first quarter. Dragons trail by 7. Going to ask their defense for a big stand here to hopefully get the football back and keep this one close here in the early going. Well, fellas, we saw on the previous drive, like you said, Daniel, it looks like they just pitch out to the left, and they just had Junction City outmanned. It'll be interesting to see, try to watch that guard play here in this second drive to kind of see if they're working to get an extra body out there, or if it just happened to be that Junction City was late getting to the party. 8:51 to play, drive start time for Haynesville, second one of the evening. Marion Webb, the quarterback, and he's going to give. That's going to be around to Alonzo Jackson. Jackson, the big fella, he's going to rumble forward for a couple of yards, actually give him 3, bring up a 2nd down and 7, just shy of the 45.
It was a good job pushing into the backfield right there by Davis. He got back there and kind of disrupted the run. I mean, you get back there, you got to make the play. I mean, it's a positive play considering what the last position looked like for Haynesville, but you'd like to see them get the negative yards right there if they could.
2nd down and 7 for the Golden Tornado. Big offensive front for Haynesville.
Yeah, you can say that again.
Those young men do not miss a meal down there in Clayton Parish
No.
cafeteria.
I'm telling you, if 79's a freshman, oh my God.
He's got a promising career ahead of him.
Absolutely.
That's for sure. Good-looking young men. That's going to go to Franklin. He was the top back in the backfield, had a lead block out front of him. But I think if you ask 4, he don't really need too many lead blocks. He'll just make the room himself. Somewhat of a bruising runner. He picks up 11. That's going to be a 1st down inside the 35, just shy of the 34. Clock's going to move under 8 minutes here. Haynesville starting to put together that methodical process that they love called offense. Two slot backs. Wing back's going to be Jackson. And he's going to be the lead man out onto the right side, and that's going to go out on the edge.
Good open field tackle.
You're right there, sir. Good open field tackle. That was DeBose from his safety spot. He was able to knock down Turner.
Just that getting off the block as well out there.
Yeah.
And that was a good job getting there from Turner, or getting to Turner as quickly as he did. We saw him get the corner on the left side on the sweep back on the first possession, and DeBose might have been one of the last chances for Junction City in that play as well.
That's 6 straight run plays for the Tornadoes, Jacob. At what point do you think they're going to take another shot downfield?
I think you got to watch those safeties from Junction City. You got to watch, really, I say safeties. They're more glorified corners at this point considering what they run. But you got to watch them. Yeah, you got to see if they're creeping down. And DeBose, good pressure there.
There you go.
QB hurry there from number 6, putting a little pressure on his counterpart. As Webb, that one was really, you could say that one was dead from the start. DeBose just shot through that right over on the far right side. Pass falls incomplete.
The 2nd down is short. I mean, that's a time that you could take a shot player. Or
Yeah,
something
it really
like that.
is. Yeah.
Especially when you got a load in the backfield.
Exactly. You just hand it off to any of them back there, and they're going to get 4 or 5. So 3rd and 1. They split one out wide. They keep the other 11 within about 11 yards of each other.
Very wide out there, too.
Yeah.
And they're going to give to Jackson. He's going to work over left end, bouncing around.
Man.
Estrada pursuing. Several other Dragons trying to get there. He's going to get the corner, and I think he got the pylon. Signal touchdown. Touchdown, Haynesville. On 3rd and 1 from the 25. It's 25 yards from number 24, Alonzo Jackson. And it's back-to-back scoring drives for the Golden Tornado offense, and it's 13-0 with 6:42 to play here in the opening quarter.
You really can't ask for better downfield blocking than what they've showed already.
Rudd in for the extra point. Webb to hold. Good snap. Hold down. And the kick is good. Kick is good. Timeout on the field. 6:42 to play. Haynesville trying to get in control of this one. They lead by 2 scores here. Junction City football when we come back. We are back in 30 on the Dragon Sports Network. Franklin with it teed up at the 40, and Dragons trying to run extra return men out on the field. Officials aren't going to call anything. That's going to be taken by DeBose at the 7. He's going to work back up to the 20, the 25, scorched through, and nearly tackled, still on his feet. Franklin tried to come in with one last push, and I think that was able to trip him up just enough, but not before DeBose gets across the 35. Mark him, I believe they're going to give him the 36-yard line, and so that is going to be about a 29-yard return for Corey DeBose, and that's where Junction City will start. 1st down and 10. 3rd trip to the field for the Dragon offense.
Nice little spark. Now let's do something with it.
We're going to have to try to run the ball a little bit on this drive, I believe. You got to try to establish the run in some sort of way.
Key and Carter to the top. Owens and Thurman to the bottom. Williams in the backfield. Again, sprint out right. Quick pass out on to the right. That's going to be intended for Carter. Pass falls incomplete. In Junction City, fellas, it seems like they're trying to connect over there on that right side. DeBose is sprinting right, looking right, and of course he's got protection with Williams, but it really seems like it's just a one read at the moment.
I tell you, but also it looked like that. I think Haynesville seen that route a couple times because that corner over there, he about tried to jump it.
He did look like he was biting there as he realized DeBose was going right. And now they're going to get in the pistol here. Still 2 receivers to each side of the formation. 5 offensive linemen. They're going to be a little trap play there out of the pistol. It's going to be read well. Franklin there on the stop for Haynesville, as well as Ivory. And so, again, Junction City facing a 3rd down quickly. 3rd down and 9 for the Dragons. Ball at the 36-yard line of Junction City. Owens gets the play call, brings it into the huddle.
So you got to have something positive. I mean, even if you don't get the first down right here, I'd like to see something positive. Pick up some yards because Junction hadn't been able to do much of that so far.
3 receivers saunter out to the right. Thurman's going to get in between Key and Carter. And DeBose is going to have to throw quickly. Throws it up, and it is going to be caught by Thurman. Muscles it away from the corner. Oh, my goodness. That was a little schoolyard action right there, fellas. DeBose was pressured from both. The pocket collapsed about as quickly as a pocket can collapse, and he had to just toss it up there. It's one of those moments, no, 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 yes, 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 yes.
Absolutely.
And Thurman just muscled it away from the corner that was on him.
He definitely didn't have the vertical advantage right there.
No, he did not.
Muscled it away,
He did not. Jackson, he did have the strength advantage, though. Jackson Thurman, big catch on 3rd and 9. It's going to reset the chains for the Dragons, so some momentum for Junction
Taking
City.
a shot.
Going up left side, incomplete, and nearly picked off. Laid it on the turf was Demondra Martin. And Demondra dang near came up with a turnover for Haynesville.
They're getting a lot of pressure back there now. They're trying to sit him in the pocket, and I think that's kind of the reason they were kind of rolling him out, but they're getting back there to him quick. He ain't got much time to make a decision.
You're right, and he's losing that back in Williams. The protection he had when he rolls out, when he sits in the pocket, you're right, Daniel, he's more pressure. He's pressured more immediately than if he's rolling out. To me, fellas, I'm no guru here, but it seems like maybe he's not putting enough air on the ball when he's trying to get it to Carter. You've got a guy that's got some length over his opponent. You might want to put a little bit more air on it. Now he's going to have to run left side, and he's still got a guy pursuing him. Set a man in a chair at about the 49-yard line. He's going to move across midfield down to the 40. See where they officially mark it, the 44. Tell you what, if old Dub P was up here, he'd say it looked like some moves you see on the dance floor at the Pepper Hill Social Club on a Saturday night. My goodness.
I've been missing that.
He put him on my very small vocabulary has no words to describe what I just witnessed. So I apologize, folks. You can go back and watch it. Or if you hear about a move made on the football field, it was DeBose at the 5:05 mark of the first quarter. He's going to roll out right, pressured from behind, ball's on the ground, and I believe it was stripped and lost. And so that's the risk you take, rolling out to the right, getting it knocked away, especially with that immediate pressure. And so Haynesville forces guys, I want to call all turnovers a key, but I'll say that's probably a huge one for the Golden Tornado because Junction City was gaining some momentum there on that drive.
Yeah, I need to get a better look. I wasn't paying as much attention as I needed to right there, but on the outside. But it's like the tackles they ain't getting quite out there on the blitzing outside linebackers. I believe it's 24 is a linebacker, and he got free right there pretty quickly.
Yeah, he showed very quickly. Change of possession. 1st and 10 for Haynesville at the Junction City 48. Second drive start for the Golden Tornado here in the first quarter. That's been in Junction City territory, and whistles blow it dead.
A false start.
And a false start. The Golden Tornado player tried to get an early go at it. And they'll back them up behind the chains.
This is if you're Haynesville, this is where you don't want to be. But Junction, this is where you got to take advantage. They're already starting back five further yards. You got to try to make a defensive play right here, especially get them back behind the chains even further, 2nd down.
Ball moves back across to Haynesville territory, the 48-yard line. 4:45, 4:44, clock ticking away here in the first quarter.
I think you might see a little toss out to the left.
Turner, the man in motion, he'll move from right to left, and they'll toss it out left. That's going to be Jaden Green, and he is picked up and dropped at the original line of scrimmage. Who was that out there, fellas?
I think DeBose that came with the tackle.
DeBose, probably some frustration there from the turnover a couple plays earlier, and he unleashes every bit of it on Jaden Green.
Well, 6 came to play ball tonight.
My goodness. And that was from the far side of the field as well.
I mean, there was a lot of contact on that one because there was a one good block. I think 54 came around and got a good block on Hudson right there, and then DeBose came through and with a good tackle.
And they motioned Turner across from the wing back over to create kind of a almost give a mismatch there with the man on the left side, and they're going to give to Franklin. That's right up the gut, running strong, Toby Franklin, and I believe he's going to pick up the first down. If not, he's going to be awfully close. It'll certainly create a manageable
third down
if he's short. They're going to mark him at the 38-yard line.
Talk about that tackle one more time. Kind of looked like what Derwin James did to Travis Kelce
last night. Yeah, I kind of thought the same thing. Exactly. Third down. We're going to call less than a yard. 3.5 to play first quarter.
Jacob, when you got a load like that in the backfield, you don't chop a tree down from the top.
That's it.
You can't hit him high because he's going to blow right through you.
Turner, the man in motion. They fake to him. They're going to give to Franklin up the middle.
Let's see, Estrada, he went low. He picked up some yardage, already got the first down, but Estrada did a good job of going low on him there.
And so Franklin carries it down inside the 35 to the 32-yard line. New set of downs for Haynesville. Turner, the man in motion, left to right. And it's going to be a sprint out pass. And he's going to have a man, and it is going to be nearly intercepted. I tell you what, it looked like he had a man, but I think DeBose knew what he was doing. He was trying to bait him a little bit.
Yeah, I can see that now.
And he let Turner kind of slip behind him just slightly, and then he tried to cut off. Credit the defense of Junction City kind of forcing.
Got a hold here, too, going to back him up 10.
Forcing the quarterback to maybe throw a little bit more on the run than he wanted to.
Which he was running out of. He was running out of field, too.
Sure. Yeah, exactly.
So DeBose had that. He had that extra defender in the sideline there for him as well.
That's right. Nearly was able to haul it in. But the holding on, Haynesville will back the Golden Tornado up to the 41-yard line.
Again, you got them back behind the chains right now. You got to take advantage.
Going to bring Jackson in motion. And they're going to give to, I believe that's going to be Jaden Green, and he's going to be wrapped up by DeBose. DeBose has, fellas, he's got to have at least 7 or 8 tackles already here in the first quarter.
Yeah, Owens right there. Owens was in a good spot right there to make the tackle. You just got to keep his head up. You got to keep your head up, make sure you can keep your eyes on the running back right there. He just gave him a little sidestep and got right by him.
Ball at the 25-yard line, 2nd down and 4 for Haynesville. Moving left to right. 14-0, Golden Tornado leads Junction City. Clock nears the 2-minute mark. Green and Franklin in the backfield. They're going to give to Green. He's going to sweep it out left side. He's going to try to get to the corner, wrapped up from Estrada. Good pursuit there from Brian. He's going to pick up the first down, but we saw that play earlier, and it resulted in 6. So good job by Estrada, able to chase Green down from behind. And that'll reset the chains for Haynesville.
I mean, you like to see, defensive strategy right here. I mean, it's tough to come up with one right now because the size advantage is greatly in favor of Haynesville. And I'd like to see them maybe just kind of man up on the outside and try to put some pressure in the backfield right here. But it's, like I said, that size for Haynesville is huge.
And it's going to be a rollout, and quarterback's just going to keep it, and he's going to be wrapped up. Credit DeBose and Owen.
So that's a play right there. They didn't pick up any yards. Might have got 1 at most. But DeBose right here, you can see him on the sideline right here. He's going to spend a lot in this first quarter.
Yeah, he is. And when you see that's what people may not understand. When you see the way the man plays defense, my goodness,
Man.
he's flying all over the field, chasing guys down from behind. So obviously he's spinning that,
And then on
spinning
offense,
whatever's in that tank's going quickly.
Then on offense, when he's got to roll out to kind of get him some time to look downfield, that adds up.
Exactly, it certainly does. It adds up quickly. Final 60 seconds of the first quarter. They give it to Franklin, the big fella, right up the gut, bounces off one man like Sonic the Hedgehog collecting coins, and then he's into the end zone for the touchdown. And it's a 20-0 ball game with 50 seconds to play in the first quarter. The initial contact's there, fellas, but you got to be able to wrap up, and especially a player like Toby Franklin, and the big fullback rumbles into the end zone from 7 yards out. And it's the third Haynesville rushing touchdown of the night. The Rudd extra point attempt pending. Good snap. Hold is down, and the kick is no good. Off the front of the crossbar and no good. Timeout on the field. 50 seconds remain in this first quarter of action. Haynesville 20, Junction City 0. We're back in 30 on the Dragon Sports Network. Franklin, the touchdown scorer for Haynesville on their third trip to pay dirt this evening, has it teed up and ready to kick off. Junction City looking for something offensively. They had it a couple drives ago, but a turnover ended the hopes there as DeBose takes it from his 9. He reads the return and is going to bounce up across the 20, across the 25, and down to the 26-yard line. So that's where Junction City's got it. First down and 10, 42 seconds to play, first quarter.
Like to see the Dragons, we talked about it. I'd like to see them try to establish something here offensively. They got a little bit down there and got to the other side of the 50, but you'd like to see them at least get a couple first downs or something. Look for something positive here before the end of the quarter.
They actually mark it at the 27-yard line. Bose takes the snaps, going to sprint out right side. He's got Williams there to block. Now DeBose is going to tuck it. He's going to run. Makes a one-man miss. He takes out one guy. Another stutter step. It's finally going to be wrapped up and pushed out of bounds at the 38-yard line. Evans to Betsy. The kid's got moves, fellas.
I'm telling you.
33 seconds. A big run there from Corey DeBose. He rolled out right and hear me out, guys. You want him to make his reads. You want him to look at the routes being ran, but sometimes you just got to say, you know what, forget it. I got to tuck it and go. There's nothing there. Even if it seems to be quick into the route progression, you just got to say, you know what, look, I got to tuck it and go, and it paid dividends there for Junction City.
Yeah, I mean that's been part of the best offense right there is him being kind of tucking and going, but I mean it's hard for him. There you go.
And pass is incomplete, nearly picked off. I think it was off his chest as he was falling to the ground in 22. I don't know if he realized he knew it.
I don't think he knew that ball was still in play.
And after the incompletion, the game clock runs another 4 seconds, so that ends the first quarter of play. Timeout on the field, 20-0. Junction City trying to get something going offensively. We're back in 60 on the Dragon Sports Network. Quarter change here along the state line, 12 minutes before the intermission. It was all Haynesville in the first quarter, 20-0. They find the end zone 3 times, all via the ground. Of course, anyone familiar with the Golden Tornado program, no surprise there. Churned up a lot of yardage, and at least, I believe it was at least 5 different ball carriers in that first quarter for Haynesville. So Junction City's got it. Now they'll be heading toward the Arkansas-Louisiana state line. Left to right for those of you listening on the radio, thank you for joining us tonight. Week 3 of the Arkansas high school football season. I'm Jacob Humphrey, joined alongside Daniel Wood and Derek Rocket. And Dragons have it second down and 10 actually, after the incompletion.
So we got Hudson back here, more of a power back.
So Hudson in the backfield, he's set to the left of DeBose. 2 receivers to each side of the formation. Corey drops back, sets his feet, throws over, and the pass is incomplete. That was intended for
Key over there.
number 2, Jacorian Key. And it'll bring up 3rd down and 10 for Junction City.
With the way the defense is, I mean, you saw there was no safeties right there for Haynesville right there. So, I mean, if you could get some type of slant right there across the middle.
And all it takes is a pitch and catch and a break a tackle, and it's going to be off for the races.
But you got to be able to complete the passes. You got to be able to catch the ball, though. I mean, there's been some catchable passes. Just ain't been caught.
Jay Carter, the lone receiver to the right. They go on a trips formation to the left side of the field. They're going to throw it up side to Carter, and pass is going to be incomplete. And that will bring up 4th down and 10 for Junction City. The Dragons are going to have to punt it away here with 11:51 to play second quarter. So just 9 seconds in to second quarter action. Junction City is going to have to kick it away to the Golden Tornado. So the Bows back to punt it away. Jaden Green and Jacarius Turner are the returners for the Golden Tornado. Going to be a line drive kick over toward the right, going to be fielded by Green, and it's going to be knocked out of his hands and out of bounds. Haynesville will keep the football, but good coverage there from Jordavian Williams. He was flying down the field from that gunner position. He knocked it free from Green.
I mean, we talk about establishing a run, doing something on offense. I mean, Williams last year, he had a heck of a game against Haynesville. I mean, it's kind of – you'd like to – I mean, I know we're sitting here talking about the size of Haynesville and everything, but, I mean, if Williams could get going, that would be big time for the Dragons.
Haynesville has pretty much had its way with Junction City offensively.
So far, yeah.
Got it at the 42-yard line, moving right to left, work off the near hash. Closest to the Dragons sideline. Franklin and Turner in the backfield. Jackson across the formation, right to left, and they're going to give to Turner. He's going to go right side. Makes 2-man miss. Actually, initially missed, but credit to, who is that? I believe that's Key. He was able to latch on and hang on. And joining him in was Javion Davis, able to help bring down the ball carrier, but I believe it's going to be a first down. Back chain's moving. Front chain figures it out, and it'll be reset the chains for Haynesville.
I got to give Joey Allen a breakdown here. He's new.
And they give to Jackson. He's going to work on the right side. He was the man in motion. So starting to get a little chippy out there. A little action after the whistle along the Haynesville sideline.
That was a good tackle right there by Thurman.
Yeah.
I see, like we talked about, the bigger backs right there, you got to get low on them. You ain't going to be able to get them up top. The offense for Haynesville, it seems very simple, but it's hard to defend when you have a bull like that and Franklin at the fullback and goes up the middle so easily, and then you got the speedsters on the outside.
Exactly. It is. There are so many moving parts. You got to read your keys. It's going to be a spot-out pass. It's going to be Jackson this time. He was just the ball carrier. Makes 1-man miss and just got blocked in the back. We got 2 flags on the play.
It's coming back. Looked like he stepped out right here anyway. If he was.
They got him stepped out at the 25-yard line, but a clear block in the back on DeBose. I believe that was Turner, the transgressor. Clock stopped, 10:29 to play before the break.
Once again, Haynesville's giving us something. Just it don't seem like a huge opportunity, but they're kicking themselves in the foot there, and we got to take advantage of it.
2nd down and 3 for Haynesville. Backs them up to the 40-yard line. Jackson in motion. It's going to be a pitch to Turner. They showed early, ran into his own block, and now Turner's going to be sprung. He's going to over the right side. He gets the sideline, still on his feet, down inside the 10, going to be close to the 5. We'll see where they mark him. I believe they're going to mark him at the – I believe it's going to be the 9.
Look back, coming back to about the 11 now. They're bringing back some.
Yeah, they did bring it back all the way back to the 11, so still a 29-yard run.
That's good. That was a good read by DeBose right there. He read that quickly, and he got back there and tried to make a tackle, but it's just, like you said, you can't fault the kid. He's done so much already in this game.
And Javion Davis was also back there as well. He kind of blew up the pulling guard there.
Yep.
But just unable to, actually not even the pulling guard, the guard on the play side, but was unable to make the play.
Timeout Haynesville.
Timeout Haynesville, 10:16 to play before the break. We'll step aside, back in 30 on the Dragon Sports Network. Welcome back to the state line. 10:16 to play before the half, and Haynesville's marching once again. They've got it inside the Dragon 15, another red zone trip for the Golden Tornado. And it was Haynesville that called timeout to talk things over. And it's going to work out well for them, as they will pick up a free 5 here to make it 1st down and 5 now. It should put them inside the 10 at around the 7-yard line. Really in between the 6 and the 7.
That's pretty spot on right there, it looks like, huh?
That was all sides against the Dragons.
Hand off to Franklin up the middle right there.
Yeah, I was trying to see the ball. It happened so quickly, I couldn't even see who they handed it
Well,
to.
he does a good job protecting the ball, too.
He really does.
Absolutely.
He really does. He realizes where he has a good feel for where he's at in the defense. And you can see him. He'll go with 2. He'll go back with 1 when he feels like he's got some space. Young man does a really good job. Does it at a high level too. Obviously, unfortunately for Junction City, we've experienced that tonight. 9:36 to play in the first half. They give to Franklin. He's going to go over right guard. Flag came in, and Franklin stayed on his feet. Actually, it was somebody came away. Dragon came away with a football. Was that Henry or Hudson? Excuse me.
I'm looking to see if they got the flag.
A Dragon handed the referee. It was Hudson. Excuse me. Hayden Hudson handed the referee the football. There was a flag. Just a half second before. Still no sign. The official's making his way out. There's going to be a chop block below the way. That's going to be on Haynesville. And still a bunch of pointing going on. And
looked like they recovered it,
and the Junction City, so it's going to be Junction City football.
I'd like to see where they're going to mark this at. Has to be out at the 20.
I would think it would have to be, considering that they declined the penalty that would have put it.
Either that or I don't know. This is.
So a much-needed turnover. Junction City thwarts the Haynesville rushing attack.
That's one thing we heard, that Haynesville will turn the ball over, but when they turn the ball over, you got to do something with it.
And that's the key. And when you look at it, the triple option in itself lends. I mean, it lends. That offense lends opportunities for the ball to come out. And but the main thing, Daniel, you just said it. You can put it on the ground 6 times, but if your opponent can't find the end zone at least half of those, what good has it done? Junction to take a shot early, and that pass is going to be knocked down. Trying to see who got the big paw in there.
Number 60 right there, come off this left edge.
That was Tristan French.
I mean, that's what you're taught, though. If you can't get to the quarterback, get your hands up.
Get the hands up. And he did just that. So 2nd down and 10 now for Junction City.
Which for the pocket right there, the pocket looked pretty clean, honestly.
Yeah. It's about the most time he's had all night. I'd really like to see him get Williams going right here.
Williams set to the right of DeBose. And
so there goes
that
slant
route. Pass is incomplete. Looked like it was relatively on target to Jay Carter. Pass falls incomplete.
Well, that right there, you can definitely give it a little bit more air. You don't have a safety right there to really worry about.
You almost can, depending on the pocket, you can almost let that slant drag out a little bit longer, like you were saying, and put a little more air on it and lead them out front.
With no middle safety or anything right
there.
Man,
they're clearing
the middle's
out,
been open all night long.
I would think a back out of the backfield, almost even something up the.
With the pressure they come off the side right here.
A little screen or something going to go up right side. Now Carter's got to step on a man, but it's thrown just a little too far out of bounds.
I don't think Haynesville's put a safety out there all night.
And so just like that, Dragons force a turnover, but it's 3 quick incompletions. And it's going to bring up 4th and 10, and they're going to have to punt it away.
Definitely looks like they're definitely committed to stopping the run. They're saying if you can beat us with the pass, you can beat us with the pass so far.
Sure, and it's worked well for them. I mean, it's worked well for them.
They played man on the outside and brought the pressure off the edges all night long, and it's worked.
.920, good snap. DeBose has it's going to punt it. It's going to be somewhat of a line drive to the right side. Nearly touches a Golden Tornado. Not a bad job there from Corey to somewhat flip the field. It'll be down inside the Haynesville 40-yard line. That's where the Golden Tornado will have it. 9:09 to play in the 2nd quarter.
Jacob, how do you slow down that rushing attack?
I think you may. I mean, it's one of those things where, that offense is content with 3-4 yards of play. They're not in this offense to go get the 8 or 9. Now we've seen them get 8 or 9 a good bit tonight. Yeah. But they're content for the 3 or 4. So I don't know. You may just need to start maybe moving your front a little bit. Maybe trying to apply some pressure from different sides. Almost, I don't want to say gamble, because you still need to read your keys. Because if you gamble against an offense like this, they can gas you big. But this coaching staff has went against this wing tee for quite some time, so I'm sure they've got something up their sleeve to be able to, try to throw a little bit of a wrinkle at them. That's going to go to
a good
Green.
Defensive play.
There you go.
I don't know if
that's going to be Hudson right there.
I don't know if that's one of the wrinkles, but that's definitely 2 good young men to have on your defense. Hayden Hudson and Javion Davis on the stop for Junction City.
Jacob, you talk about them getting 3 or 4 yards at a time. The problem is those 3 or 4 yard plays have turned into those 8 and 9 yard plays.
That's it, because they initial contacts made it 3 or 4 yards.
And man, it don't matter who touches it.
That's right.
The yards after contact, I'd love to see it at the end of the game for Haynesville, because they've broke the initial tackle 9 times out of 10 tonight.
I'll see what our analytics department down low can cook up for us. 2nd and 11 after the 1 yard loss.
That's where you get it. There you go.
That's going to go to Turner, and that's what you got to do. You got to wrap up.
Yep.
He's going to get some yards, but it's going to be a 3rd and 5. We haven't seen too many 3rd and probably anything more than probably 2 or 3 for Haynesville so far tonight. So actually make it a 3rd and 6.
Yep.
So good job there from Junction City.
Yeah, definitely good job by Williams right there. He got the edge right there, and he made sure he turned it back in. I mean, that's a big thing right there.
Turned it back in to where you got some help.
It's a big play right here. If you could stop them right here and make them punt, that's big for a confidence boost.
clock has dipped under 8 minutes. Now Haynesville in the I formation. First time we've seen it tonight. Turner's going to move from left to right, and they get Junction City to jump. And it goes from that 3rd and 6 that we haven't seen to a 3rd and very manageable 1. And they're going to have it at their 49. Need to get just across the midfield stripe for a first down. So Junction City doing themselves no favors on the defensive side of the football.
Looks like offside for the Dragons. It brings up 3rd down with 1 to go for the Golden Tornado.
Third down and 1. 7 minutes and 20 seconds for the break. They give to Franklin. You almost had to think that was coming, fellas. They're going to give it to the big
just
back.
go ahead and get the first down.
Let him pick up the first down and just continue to move the chains. And it's really not optimal for, I mean, anytime you're playing this wing T offense, you can't afford to get behind really at all just because it's an eat clock offense.
Mm-hmm.
And they're probably in a position here where they feel they can start, really starting to eat some clock.
Maybe a Franklin a little breather, it looks like.
22's checked into the ball game for Haynesville, and they're going to throw. It's going to be a hot route up right side, incomplete. Pass was intended for
81.
number 81. See if we got him listed on our roster here. 81. Tristan Young was the intended receiver.
And here you go again. They helped you out by a play call right there. So, I mean, an incomplete pass. So you got off the field last time on a turnover. It'd be nice to try to get off the field right here with a punt or something.
2nd down and 10. 3-score ball game. And now
Lined up off sides. Or they're going to call false start. He did the
false start, so
he'll figure it out down there.
either or, that left hand has went towards Haynesville, so that's positive news for Junction City.
That's what matters right there.
And so I believe they're going to decide on the false start.
Was Junction, I mean, they have gotten, I mean, they're lining up very close. I mean, that's kind of, I mean, that's probably an adjustment they've tried to make, try to get off the ball a little bit quicker, but
sure.
Or try to make it a little bit of a harder block.
Yeah, an initial contact's huge. We'll keep going back to the wing T. It's like beating a dead horse. That's what they do. They beat a dead horse.
Been doing it for years
with their offense, and so you have to try to get as many advantages as you can, especially in that initial contact. After the penalty, handoff goes to Jackson. He's met by several Dragons and dropped for a loss. Back to the line of scrimmage. It'll bring up a 3rd down and long. Really the first time all night, fellas, that we've seen Junction City force the Golden Tornado into a 3rd and long situation.
Love to see them take advantage of it.
You see a little bit of an adjustment right here on the defensive line. They're not putting anybody over nose. They're kind of shifting a little bit, 3 people to the strong side. And that's, I mean, if they're going to the strong side right there, that's why you're seeing that collapse on that side of the offensive line. That's helped out Junction so far this drive. Let's see if they do it again here. See it coming to the strong side. They got 3 stacked up right here on the right side.
Out of the I formation, and they're going to throw. They've got 3
a free
receivers
runner.
And
Big
brought
sack.
down a big-time sack indeed. St. Anthony Williams from the backside bandit. Nobody saw him coming, and that's going to be, Daniel, that's the punt you were talking about, man.
I mean, that's big. That's a confidence booster right there. Your defense could prove that they can stop them offensively. Your offense could maybe be able to feed off that and see if they did something positive right here in the last 5 minutes.
Dragons fired up. Every right to be fired up. They're going to get the football back here. But the clock moves under 5.5 minutes before the intermission. Franklin to punt. Dual returners for Junction City. Key and DeBose. And Franklin.
That's a good punt.
That is a good punt. It's going to hang up there a good bit. That's going to be fielded by DeBose at the 25. Bounces around and really nowhere to go. Haynesville, great coverage.
A lot of hang time.
On special teams.
That was a heck of a punt.
Junction City has it 1st down and 10 as they force the first punt of the night by the Golden Tornado. 5:12 to play here in the 2nd quarter.
That was pretty very Eric Major-esque. You remember him?
Yes, it was. Remember him? Yeah, definitely. Definitely got some. Junction City with it after the big stand defensively. Going to operate out of the pistol. Williams set behind him. 4 receiver set. Split even to both sides. DeBose makes some adjustments along that right side, and now he's going to take it and just keep it. That'll almost look like a design run from the jump, fellas, because he kind of ran out there and then cut it up quickly.
So that's positive play right there on first down. That's what you need right
exactly.
here.
Exactly, 4 yards just like that. Makes it a 2nd and 6. We've seen their previous 3 drives, the first play had been an incompletion. And so you get 4 yards right out of the gate, makes it a 2nd and 6. You know, any bit of momentum is good momentum. And Junction City's going to have it at the 29, just shy of the 30. From the gun, Bose looks left, throws out, pass is incomplete.
That. Right in the hands. You got to make that catch right there. That's right there at the sticks.
Pass falls incomplete, intended for Key on the out route along the left side. Clock stops, 4 minutes and 30 seconds to play. And now they move Owens and Thurman over towards the left. And now it's going to be a dumps it out. We kind of saw that play a couple of weeks back in.
That's right here. That has to be something on the cornerback right here. That was a pass play, and he tackled the receiver out here. It has to be a hold. I mean, there's something. That was what was going on here.
He drug him to the ground.
Yeah, he did drag him to the ground.
That was a pass route.
That's a good call. It was a pass route. And not a bad play design.
No.
Williams has got to get a little bit more upfield. Either that or, you know, DeBose has to maybe not throw it more upfield and try to get it more towards him.
I'm dumbfounded right now, Pump, that wasn't
third. Yeah, third. And
tackled the guy. Tackled the receiver. No call.
Dumbfounded, that's a good word right for the moment. And DeBose, end-over-end kicks, going to bounce at the 43.
Good coverage by Williams.
And really good coverage by Jordavian. He's done really well on special teams tonight, getting down the field, preventing some returns. And so not a bad punt again from DeBose. That's going to put it at the 33-yard line. And so your defense just got a big stand. You're going to ask them for one more here, and hopefully you can get some points before the half. Golden Tornado break the huddle. 4:17 on the game clock. Franklin back in the backfield. Bring Jackson across the formation. They give to Franklin right up the gut, and just two hands on the football, full steam ahead, and he gets up to the 40. Actually going to mark him at the 39. So really that's kind of the difference we've seen on some of these drives between the two offensive drives between the two teams, fellas, is positive yards right out of the gate. Second down, we'll call it a long 3. Deep motion, that's Jackson. He gets the pitch. Good block on the edge. Estrada with a good tackle. A good tackle indeed, because Jackson, if Estrada wouldn't have been there, he had some more real estate as he was getting to that third level quickly. Still enough for a Haynesville first down. First down and 10, ball at the 7-yard line. I formation, that's given to Turner right up the middle and dropped hard. That was Estrada first, and Davis finished him off.
I mean, that might have been the first straight handoff I think I've seen to a back in the backfield right there, other than to the fullback. Everything else has been a toss or handoff to Franklin.
Been a toss, yeah, exactly.
Well, I think a 10 running clock here.
They really are. Second down and call it 6. Ball's across midfield into Junction City territory at the 49. I formation, Franklin the fullback, Turner set behind him, whistles pre-snap. And it's going to be
another
a
false
start, and that's going to help Junction City. He's going to back Haynesville up.
See, right now you're definitely winning the penalty and the turnover battle, but you got to put something on the scoreboard. All that doesn't matter nothing.
Looks like a false start against the Golden Tornadoes.
Got him back behind the sticks again.
That's right, 2nd and 11. Ball's at the 46-yard line. Junction City with all 3 timeouts.
Good pressure
and
again.
Pressured immediately. And going to have to just force himself out of bounds was Omarion Webb.
Look like 40 for Junction. Is that Tolles? Did they change jersey, I believe? Jersey number, I believe. I thought he was 59.
He may have. Yeah, he was 59. I saw 40 out there earlier, and I was like, I don't
remember that number. But
yeah, it's got to be Tolles.
But he's done a good job of getting back in the backfield his last couple drives, and it's definitely helped. That's one thing. I mean, Haynesville definitely has a size advantage, but maybe on the defensive line, maybe the quickness advantage might be able to. You got trips out here.
First time we've seen that tonight. They're going to go from under center with the fullback, and that's just a smoke screen.
Positive play by Tolles again.
And Tolles, good job by Tolles. Davis is in there. Estrada found himself in the mix. And so another stand by Junction City on the defensive side of the football. I'll tell you what, fellas, it might not be going the way of the Dragons so far, but there's still a lot of fight in that bunch, and they're going to get their offense, the football back.
Well, you definitely seen the adjustments made, and good thing they were made before halftime to make the game more competitive, but we got to get something going on offense.
4th down and 13.
That's one thing I will say. You got some defensive geniuses on this sideline.
Oh, no doubt. And nearly blocked Williams. Oh, my goodness. Nearly was able to get it.
Sold out.
I mean, yeah, if he would have laid out, he might would have gotten a paw on it. And Franklin's going to boot it down just shy of the 20. Actually, they're going to give him the 20. And so Junction City's got it with about 88 seconds to work with. And they're going to have to go about 80 yards if they want to try to find the scoreboard before the break. DeBoe's out of the shotgun to throw. He's got plenty of time. He's going to throw it up right side. He's got a man, and it is incomplete, in and out of his hands, intended for Jay Carter. And he got between 2 defenders. There was that lack of a safety help, fellas, that we talked about. There's actually a linebacker out trying to help with some of the coverage. And tried to hook up with Carter. That's kind of the play you need. When you look at that clock and realize you don't have much time, you almost need a big play to kind of get yourself back even with the field position. Unable to convert, and it'll be 2nd and 10. And DeBose will look again. Slant over the middle. That's going to be thrown short. Trying to get with Carter again. I tell you, you're right, fellas. There's plenty of real estate out there.
Over middle.
Passing lanes as well. And 3rd down and 10 quickly after consecutive incompletions. 1:19 before the half.
So we try to see that little dump off right there to Williams, but I mean, if Junction could develop some sort of screenplay, and that would be really effective against this aggressive defense here.
And they're going to give to Williams. Phyllis, correct me if I'm wrong, that may be the first time he's touched it out of the backfield tonight. If not, it hadn't been more than 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, it ain't been many. And I think that's the first time he's actually picked up positive yardage, actually.
I think he touched it on the first drive of the game, and that might have been it.
And I believe Haynesville is going to call a timeout as Junction City was presented 88 seconds, and they use only 17 of them. And they're going to have to punt it away here on 4th down and 7. Dragons calling the punt team out. The Haynesville timeout. And fellas, if you're Haynesville, do you try something here? You try to maybe put a little pressure on Junction City, maybe a punt block or something, or do you just, going to take the time here? I mean, you should have a timeout to work with, and potentially upwards to 65 seconds to maybe find the end zone again.
I would try a punt block here. I mean, last few times Junction's been able to have some success on defense stopping them. So, I mean, I would try to give you a little bit of a help here.
Yeah, anything you can do to cut down on that yardage.
But then again, also with the athletes they have back here, they might again try to set the wall like they did on the first one and maybe try to get a return here. It all depends on the punt, basically what's going to happen on the return part.
Really, you're right. Haynesville's ready. They've got their return set. Dragons break the huddle.
They're going to use that full timeout is what they need to.
111, 20-0's our score. DuBose to punt. Green and Turner the returners for Haynesville. Both set inside in between the 40 and 45-yard line. And it's going to be a direct snap to Corey.
Get out here.
He's going to pick up the first down.
Go
He's
ahead,
still
DuBose.
going, and he's
Go
going to
ahead,
make a
DuBose.
man miss, and he's going to get across
I
the
like it.
45. What
I
a
like
play
it.
call.
Graham, get on
What
here.
a play call on 4th and 7. The Dragons sideline is fired up.
That's what you need, a spark right there, and you got it. You need to go ahead.
Haynesville
like
calls
it.
a timeout, and everybody's thinking, what are they drawing up? You should have looked at the other sideline as DuBose takes the direct snap and just rolls right, picks up the first down, and a little bit more after that. And Junction City in business now as the clock moves under a minute. They've got it 1st and 10
Need to get on the line
from
here.
the 47.
Got your two big receivers right here.
Takes the snap.
Right open.
He's got him wide open, incomplete, threw it behind Carter. They ran, it was a wheel route is what it was. He had two of the big bodies on the right side.
They had a wet ball out there, I believe is what they're saying.
Yeah, I believe that's what DuBose was saying. And that's going to be a false start on the top of the formation. Both receivers at the top part.
Looks like a false start against the Dragons.
That was a huge opportunity right there.
That was 6 right there is what it was.
Yeah.
43 seconds to play before the break. Out of the huddle. Thurman and Owens to the left. That's where DuBose looks. Now he's pressured, and he's got nowhere to go. He is dropped for a loss. And I believe Dragons are just going to let this time roll away, and I don't blame them. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 4 ever. Seven seconds on the game clock, and Junction City is just going to let it roll out, and that will do it for the first half of action. It looked promising there after the fake punt and the keeper by DuBose. It's 20-0's our score. Haynesville by 3 touchdowns at the break. We're going to step aside for 2 minutes. Back with more here on the Dragon Sports Network.
All right, let's do some halftime scoreboard report here. USW, that is local 13, 434. Cabot 14, Ruston 7. That's at halftime. We got Malvern 22, Hernando, Mississippi 28 at halftime. El Dorado is up on Greene County Tech 14-0 halftime. See here, Sheridan and West Memphis is tied up 14-all. Greenwood is doing business at Solemn Springs 61-0. That's already at quarter 4.
Looking over your shoulder, Denton, looking
Yeah.
at that Wynn Magnolia game, that's got a chance to be the quickest football game in the history of football. You got 2 triple option teams going at it in Columbia County tonight. It's 13-7. That one's already in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. Let's see here. Stuttgart, Forest City 14-14 halftime. That Shiloh Christian, Oklahoma, that is 28-21. Shiloh Christian's winning that one right now. Let's see here. Crosset Hamburg tied at 0.
Ooh, Harding Academy 31-7 on Boonville.
Yeah, I've got some more down here that's going to be probably interesting to you. Let me scroll on down here. Sometimes people may wonder why it takes a second. I have to scroll to get down to the scores. Fordyce 7, Glen Rose nothing at halftime. And that's interesting right there. Carlisle 24, Des Arc nothing at halftime.
Yeah, something's going on with Des Arc. They don't seem to be the Des Arc of old, that's for sure.
And Hayes ended up on McCrory 22-6, quarter 3. Go ahead, Jacob.
Yeah, looking at some halftime numbers here in this one. Total offense for Haynesville, 210 yards of total offense, 192 of which have come on the ground. For Junction City, just 41 yards on 26 plays, 1.6 yards per play. 14 passing, 27 rushing. Looking at some of the individual, Haynesville's trying to throw it 4 times, 1 completion for 18 yards. Dakota Camp, he's got 27 attempts for 204 yards. For Junction City DeBose, 17 attempts. They've definitely tried to throw it often, only 2 completions. He's also got 6 rushes for 23 yards. Thurman's got a catch for 14, really good catch. In fact, muscled it away from a defender on a third down and short, or excuse me, third and long. And then Owens has got the other one for no gain on a spot pass. DeBose has got 5 tackles, and for Junction City, Estrada follows with 4, and Hudson with 4 as well. And so there's some of the halftime numbers for you at the break. Pre-game, it was a very special night in Junction City. Pre-game, the Dragon Football Wall of Honor class of 2002 was honored. James McCleskey, Jimmy Bull Mason, Danny McKinnon, Philip Davis, and Jahi Jones became the 5 newest members of the Dragon Football Wall of Honor. When you look at the Dragon Football Wall of Honor, it's in its 10th year, and if you have an opportunity to go back and look at all those that have been inducted, 24 players, 3 coaches, and 5 contributors, as well as 7 dominant teams, have been immortalized, so to speak, into the Dragon Football Wall of Honor. And this latest class is certainly worthy of that addition. When you look at Mr. McCleskey, I'll go through a couple of the honors for each of them. McCleskey was one of the top one of the best linemen, offense and defense in program history. Played for the Dragons from 52 to 54. Was a member of Junction City's first championship team in 1953. It was oftentimes stated back in those days that in post-game reports and game articles that he was the top defensive standout for the Dragons week in and week out. As a senior, he was named an all-state performer. And he joins several of his teammates, Jerry McKinnon and Charles Garris, into the Dragon Football Wall of Honor. So great honor for Mr. James McCleskey. And look at Mr. Jimmy Bull Mason. To earn a nickname like Bull, you certainly have to be worth your salt. They don't just give a nickname like that out to anybody. That Iron Man era. He graduated in 1959. He anchored the offense at left tackle, was a nose guard on the defensive side of the football, and often in short or tough yardage situations, they'd put him at fullback and let him charge right up the middle just like a bull. And so that's certainly how he earned that nickname. suffered a knee injury, but never allowed it to affect him. He never missed a game his junior and senior years. Played both sides of the ball and also did all the kicking. So rarely did you see him on the sidelines. He was an all-district performer. Also played basketball and baseball. So very deserving honor for Mr. Jimmy Bull Mason. Our next honoree, Danny McKinnon. That last name sounds familiar. Well, then you certainly know that there's a highly talented bloodline that's come through Junction City football, and they've several of them have been honored in the Dragon Football Wall of Honor. Mr. McKinnon passed away in January of this year after a battle with lung cancer, and was certainly glad to see his family with us this evening to accept the honor on his behalf. You look at some of his honors as a player, considered really one of the top two-way players in program history, and he did it a lover of contact. He was a fullback and a linebacker for the Dragons from 70 to 72, finished with over 1,500 yards of rushing for his career, and defensively he tallied 256 tackles, which at the time had landed him inside the program's top 10 in career tackles. He was an all-conference two times in his career, and his coach, P.V. Griffin, who's also in the Dragon Football Wall of Honor, said of Danny, he was a dedicated and dependable player, never missed a practice or a game, and that he could count on one hand the amount of plays that he missed during his career. So you look at those first three gentlemen inducted in the Dragon Football Wall of Honor, and just that Iron Man era, that Iron Man mentality, never leave the field, always want to be in the action. And of course, we see that with these next two, even though it's two completely different eras. We see that with these next two inductees. It was said of Philip Davis that if you tell the story of Junction City football in the early 2000s, you can't tell it without mentioning Philip Davis. And you could even go a step further and say the man deserves his own chapter in that book. Only 4 quarterbacks had led Junction City to the state playoffs prior to Davis. But in his final 2 seasons, he became the first quarterback to lead Junction City to multiple playoff victories on the road, as well as to the state semifinals. And as I just mentioned, he did it in consecutive years. He rarely left the field, played on offense, starter on defense as well. Also a highly talented contributor on special teams. Included his career as the program's winningest quarterback with 23 victories, 6 of which came in the state playoffs, which were then a program record. And he joined a plethora of teammates in the Dragon Football Wall of Honor. One, of course, was our final inductee tonight, Mr. Jahi Jones. 3-year starter as a tackle in both trenches for the Dragons. He was a foundational player for what Coach Carpenter was wanting to do here in Junction City. Jones helped anchor that high-powered rushing attack for the Dragons. Coach Carpenter said Jahi was one of the best that he ever coached. Everything we asked him to do, he did it, and he did it well. Jones was highly impactful in that offensive front during his time. Junction City rewrote the record book, set 23 offensive records with him at right tackle. He was a three-time All-Conference selection, 2-time All-Area honoree, and an All-Golden Triangle selection as a senior. His final year in the purple and gold, he was the 7AA East Outstanding Lineman, and he was also an honoree for All-State and an All-Star Game selection. And Jahi Jones, our final inductee here tonight in the Dragon Football Wall of Honor class of 2022. Again, 5 tremendous honorees. Certainly glad to have them in the Dragon Football Wall of Honor. Folks, we thank you for joining us. Junction City heading back to the field. We're just about to get underway here with the second half. Got some ground to make up, but we'll see if Junction City is able to do it back in 60 seconds on the Dragon Sports Network.
In 2013, the Dragon Sports Network was created to give Junction City fans an opportunity to follow Dragon football live each and every week. Since then, and for the past several years, the network has expanded to coverage of Dragon basketball and hopes to add coverage of additional Dragon athletic teams in the future. Through the years, the DSN has benefited greatly from many generous sponsors and advertisers. Of those, several have been with the network from its very humble beginnings 10 years ago. The DSN is thankful for all the support it has received from those organizations, businesses, and individuals through the years. One very special individual who has been a wonderful contributor to the DSN from the very start has been Miss Jan Norris Pepper. In 2013, Miss Pepper gave to the network through the Kevin Norris Memorial, which was started in memory of her late brother. A 1978 graduate of Junction City High School, James Kevin Norris played center on the 1977 Junction City football team, which finished as the 7AA East Conference runner-up and a game shy of reaching the state playoffs in an era when fewer teams earned postseason berths. He was a proud FFA member and an employee of the Georgia Pacific Sawmill, where he worked as a welder until his tragic passing in 1991. Ms. Jan, on behalf of the Dragon Sports Network, we thank you for your support of Junction City Athletics and for allowing us to bring the action live to our fans from all corners of the natural state. Most importantly, we thank you for allowing us to play a small role in keeping alive the memory of your beloved brother. We love you.
All right, I'm ready whenever you guys are. Give us the word, homie. I'll probably bring you back in about the time we kick off. So we'll just sit here and wait. Denton, if we don't get a new PO announcer next year, I'm done. You got to be fearless to deal with us at a state tournament like that. Brennan was saying some very, very off-color things at times. Just a tad. I still think we need to at least go to. We ought to go to the state game. Oh yes. Let me just enjoy it. Let's just ride up there and go. I'm down. How many passes can we get?
What are the stats though? Passes. What is that? What are we like 1 for 16?
What was the stats on the passes?
2 for 17. You had a 14-yard jump pass to Thurman, who had to muscle it away from a cornerback that had 3 inches on him. I can't think of it. And then the other pass went to Owens for negative yards because he fumbled it and then recovered it at the line of scrimmage.
God, I hope Blue Mechanical don't sponsor those stats.
How many total yards of offense? 2 for 17. Total yards of offense, 41.
Brennan bet me 500 we were going to win.
41? That's pretty good.
500. He bet me 500 we were going to win.
All right, here we go, Denton.
500 what? All right. 3, 2, 1, y'all.
Welcome back to the state line. Second half set to begin here in Junction City. The Dragons to kick off to the Haynesville Golden Tornado. A border battle so far here tonight in the border town. It's been all Haynesville in the first half, scoring 3 times, but it was a couple of Junction City stops that kept the Golden Tornado out of the end zone, and it looked like the Dragons might be able to punch one in themselves before the break, but were unsuccessful as that one's kicked off. Going to be corner kick, fielded at the 28-yard line, shot right up the sideline, gets a seal block, and then finally wrapped up and brought out of bounds. Good tackle there by
Hudson there.
Hudson.
Got a flag also.
And a flag on the far side. Looks like it could be potentially an offsides penalty on Junction City. They're going to probably decline it. That's going to be good field position for Haynesville. Still trying to get things settled out on the field. Haynesville coaches have already said they wanted to decline it. Spot the ball where the return ended, and let's get this show on the road. Well, actually, they're going to make them re-kick it.
Cole Henry get some more love out there.
So Henry's back out to re-kick it. And that's going to back him up to the 35, so that's where Henry will spot the football. So we're going to try it again here to get the third quarter underway. Just about have it figured out. Henry with it teed up. And that's actually going to corner kick it to the other side, and that was going to, I believe that was Hudson. And it's going to go out of bounds, and so
a little bit more air right there. That would have been pretty good because Key was hauling it down the sideline.
He was getting down the field quick in a hurry. It was
let's see those defensive adjustments.
I believe Key wasn't able to catch it because it hit the ground.
Right, and then rolled right out of bounds.
And then rolled right out of bounds. And it went out at the 39, and so the officiating crew, not much urgency out of them so far tonight. Still trying to get things marked off. I don't know if really know what the situation is. We throw a ball into the Whitehead. He doesn't need a football. And he tosses it over. And that's really the only play-by-play we can give you right now, folks, because we're just out here trying to get the football set. So we've got it 1st down and 10 for the Golden Tornado. So, hey, re-kicking it and actually kicking it out of bounds saves Junction City about 7 yards. And they've got it, or excuse me, Haynesville's got it 1st and 10 from the 43.
Good call.
I'll tell you what, Pump, your ability to fill space is amazing.
I do what I can, man. I do what I can.
Miracle worker.
And Haynesville decided to stay with the wing T at the half. That's a joke for any of you curious, and that is Turner. He is not joking, and I don't believe he was touched. The first one that might touch him will most likely be a teammate in celebration, and just like that, 57 yards to the house. All of that 4 seconds into the action, 14 seconds later, and it's another touchdown for Haynesville. Tell you what, fellas, life comes at you fast. The wing T might just come at you a tad bit faster.
Yeah. See, they kind of went back to that little straight up front, too, right there. Kind of nose guard right over the center and all that. But
yeah, got away from shading back over off the nose guard and putting 3 on that heavy side. Or, excuse me, on the back side.
Yeah.
Rudd in for the extra point. Good snap, holds down. Kick is good. So timeout on the field, 14 seconds into third quarter action. Haynesville strikes again. 27-0, the Golden Tornado lead the Dragons. We're back in 30 on the Dragons Sports Network. Franklin with it teed up, and they're going to give it back to Junction City here. Deep kick, and it will go out of bounds at around the 11-yard line, and so the Dragons should have it pretty good field position here for their first offensive drive of the second half. So we'll see what adjustments were made offensively for Junction City. Daniel, I'll throw it to you first. What do you think Junction City needs to try to do maybe a little bit differently than they did in the first half on the offensive side of the football?
I'd like to see at least an attempt to establish the run, and an attempt to. I mean, I know you haven't been very successful with the running backs running the ball. DeBose, when he gets on the outside, he's able to do a little something. But when it comes down to it, when you're passing the ball, if the ball hits your hands, you got to catch it.
You got to haul it in. That's right.
You got to haul it in, and then when there's open receivers, you got to hit them. I mean, it comes down to that. There's been opportunities out there, and Junction's wasted quite a few of them.
First down and 10. DeBose out of the shotgun. Going to be a sprint out right. Williams gets in front of a man. He's going to dump it off, and it's going to be caught. That's going to be Carter. Makes a man miss. 30, 25, wrapped up, brought down, but he's inside the 25. I believe they're going to mark him at the 23. Big pitch and catch there.
Hit him in the hands.
That is going to be 42 yards from DeBose to Carter. And Junction City with life.
I'm telling you, that's what you needed right there. I mean, they kind
of on the run too.
Yeah, I mean,
and credit Williams for turning around at the right time and was able to fend off that pursuing defender from the backside. And again, he's going to roll out, sets his feet, going to throw back across his body, and incomplete. Two receivers kind of in the same area. It looked like they might have just slowed their routes down.
Maybe a little miscommunication there.
It was Thurman and Owens both around the 6-yard line. And so 2nd down and 10 now for Junction City. Ball at the 24-yard line.
See, I mean, also right there, that little rollout right there, they're kind of afraid of DeBose going for the run, so they kind of crept up on it.
And now DeBose is going to keep
go for
it,
the run.
and he is going to be wrapped up. He'll pick up a small gain, maybe 2 yards.
Frankly, he's just a heck of a football player.
Yeah, he is.
I got to give the nod over his brother, though, honestly. He's a little bit better than his brother that was at quarterback a few years back.
Carter brings the play into the huddle. 3rd down, and we'll call it a long 8. That's been an exciting 60 seconds of action, boys. It's just 60 seconds gone here in the 3rd quarter.
You got it right here. You got a good matchup right here on this side of the field. They're going to go to it.
DeBose is going to look at him. He's going to throw it up right side.
That's holding.
Flag. A flag.
That'll get Brennan Cup up.
That's right.
He heard me.
That's right. Flag out there on the edge. Single coverage. And that's, fellas, that's a positive play in itself. Sometimes you don't have to throw a 30-yard bomb, 40, 60-yard bomb. Hey, you're out there and you guys mismatched. Corner's going to start feeling a little lonely. And that was the case there. Green with the flag, grabbed the back of the jersey on Carter.
The corner gave up 10, but he saved 6.
And that's 1st down for the Dragons.
And that will reset the chains for Junction City. And for the first time tonight, the Dragons find themselves in the purple zone. No bigger opportunity than this one right here.
You got to capitalize right here. You got to.
Inside the 15, ball spotted at the 13-yard line.
So they're going to go trips left. They're going to get Carter again up here by himself. Might as well try it again.
Corner playing up close. And DeBose is going to roll right, running for his life, and is going to be wrapped up and dropped from behind for the horse collar. And really everybody in the stadium but the ones that need to see it saw it, as the clock will tick near the 10-minute mark. I agree with you, Daniel. At this point, it's almost if it ain't broke yet, don't try to fix it. Try to go back to it.
But it's like Haynesville kind of knew it also. They brought some extra pressure off that side.
They did.
Kind of knew that the rollout was coming that way. But so we're going to swap it up. Going to get the 2 tall receivers on the left side now.
2nd and 18 from the 20. They can actually reset the chains without scoring. Going to throw it up left side, and it's going to be incomplete. Probably should have been picked off. That was Webb. Had it in his hands, unable to hold on to it.
Right there on that route right there. It looks like he's got to try to throw it to the back pylon. I mean, your receiver had the defender beat. You got to throw it back further.
Situation like that, you got to just throw it where only your guy can get to it. Throw it a little bit underneath.
I mean, we sit here, we can say this all day, but it is a lot tougher throwing the ball when you're on the run like he's been.
Oh, certainly.
It's not an easy thing to do.
And it's going to be a direct snap to Williams, and the tackle there, big number 61. See if we can get a name on him. That's Kentavious Watts. He just saved a Dragon touchdown, because if Williams gets out of his grasp, there is nobody in front of him, and he easily moves into the end zone for 6.
Which Williams, he's got a quick step too. Once he sees that hole, he hits it and he goes hard.
It's like they're going to go for it.
4th down and 13. Clock nears the 9-minute mark here in the 3rd quarter. Big moment for Junction City. Trying to find the end zone. Key and Thurman to the left, Carter and Owens to the right.
Going to come off the edge, both sides.
And they're going to throw it up right side. That is Carter, and flag is called incomplete.
Look at the yellow.
And it is going to benefit Junction City greatly. And that's been their biggest offense so far here. Obviously with the exception of the actual catch there, has been trying to go to Key 2 more times. So they're going to call holding on the defense.
Looks like holding against the Golden Tornado.
I don't know about. I felt like more pass interference on that one, but
I kind of thought the same thing. More so just because of when the flag was thrown.
Yeah.
It brings up fourth down for the Dragons.
So now to bring up a fourth down and a lot. They do not have to score. They got to get inside the 2 to keep the drive alive. Bowes out of the shotgun. Williams to his left. And a hard count, and that will do it. That should put them in a goal-to-go situation. So a good job by the Dragon front. They held their water. Hard count. DeBose is letting them know he appreciates them. Good job.
Offsides against the Golden Tornado.
And that will reset the chains for the Dragons and a goal to go. Gentlemen, I thought it was 4th and 5, and now they're saying it's 4th and 1. So a 4-yard.
What we got here now?
I think they really.
It's a false start.
Oh, my gosh.
Was it not 4th and 5?
It was 4th and 5.
Let's see. It was. I want to say they're about at the 15-yard line, and then you get a 10-yard holding penalty. So it'll be a 4th and 5. So then offsides is 5 yards. Should have been first down. Just the way I see it.
You know that quick math sometimes difficult for folks. Going for it, 4th down. Quick pass, and it is incomplete, knocked down in the end zone. Dragons turn it over on downs. With 8:36 to play in the third quarter, Haynesville will take over, but they'll be under the shadow of their own goalpost here. Ball will be spotted. Not real sure where they'll spot it. Don't know if an incompletion like that will cause the cause the drive start to be somewhere else, maybe 3-4 yards.
They're going to discuss it for about 5 minutes and then go with it.
Yeah, and toss in a couple more footballs. So it'll be
I was going to say, they don't have enough balls on the field right now.
That's it. 1st and 10 for Haynesville. The ball appears to be sat at the Golden Tornado 13.
I bet we're about to get a big dose of number 4 right here.
Oh, yeah. So they're going to go straight up.
Jackson across the formation, and they give it to Franklin,
Good
and he's
tackle.
tripped up. That's going to be DeBose. DeBose trips him up.
He's got to be in double digits by now.
DeBose had a heck of a ball game so far.
Yeah.
One yard on the carry from Franklin. 2nd down and 9. Big opportunity for the Dragon defense. Haynesville backed up on their own end. That's going to go to Turner.
That's another big tackle.
And a good tackle there. Was that Thurman?
I believe it is Thurman.
I believe it's Thurman. That's what you got to do. Just stick your head in there.
Get set, chop your feet and everything. Just be ready. In case that runner tries to go one way or the other, be ready to make a reaction to it. It's a big stop right here if they could get it.
3rd down and 4 for Haynesville. And they're going to give to, that's going to be Jackson. He's going to try to work the left side. He's got the 1st down, still on his feet. Finally wrapped up and dropped from behind, but he gets up to the 20-yard line, and that will reset the chains for the Golden Tornado.
Ball carried by number 24 for the Golden Tornado. Tackle made by number 65 for the Dragons.
I think I've seen what the adjustment is. When Franklin's not in the backfield right there, they're going to shift to the strong side. But whenever he is in there, there is that threat of running up the middle.
Under 7 minutes to play in the third quarter. Dragons make a shift on that defensive front. They're going to give to Franklin. Lowers his shoulder. Good job by Estrada. We've seen that several times from Brian tonight. Just he's definitely understanding you got to get low on a guy like Franklin.
I mean, he's giving up a good bit of size, but he is in there.
Daniel, I'm going to put you on the spot. No measurables on the roster that we received. What do you, from here, what is Franklin? I mean,
But he looks. I'd give him at least 215.
I
At least.
Yeah, on a light day, I would think. Yeah,
I'm
for
thinking
sure.
at least 230.
Going to give to Turner, and he's going to be wrapped up, and so that's going to bring up a third down. Good pursuit there from Junction City. The clock moves under 6 minutes to play.
Third and short here. I mean,
Yeah,
the way the game is anyway, I believe it could be 4-down territory. I mean, unless just to try to run some more clock.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
what the coach
Yeah.
wants to do.
Yeah, definitely. 3rd and 1. Franklin and Turner in the backfield, and they give to Franklin right up the middle, 4-6, and that will reset the chains. And if you're Haynesville, you're in no hurry, obviously.
No, not at all.
There is no hurry for the Golden Tornado. 2-0 in the season. They beat North Webster in their season opener, and they beat a familiar foe in Junction City last week in Harmony Grove. I believe it was actually Coach Carpenter kind of helped facilitate that meeting.
Yeah, I think that's what it said in the news article.
Yeah.
He said, Horse Camp, he's a good person to meet up with.
For sure. He always has competitive teams.
We've known from the days he was over at Bearden.
At Bearden, that's right. You're exactly right. And Davis jumps off sides. He had a chance to get back, though. Kind of just stayed in the neutral zone. And so that's going to give Haynesville a free 5.
Looks like offsides against the Dragons.
And again, offsides by the Dragons. And you look right there, and that ran a minute off the clock, and they didn't have to take a snap.
Offside
Back-to-back offside penalties. First and 10. Ball now moved up to the 44-yard line of Haynesville. Jackson in motion. And it's going to be a pitch to Turner. He's going to get the edge. Gets to that second level. Still on his feet. And finally refusing to go down.
Running.
Finally pushed out of bounds.
The Bows looked like he kind of got a little shove in the back right there, but they didn't. I guess it's too close to the line of scrimmage for it to be seen. Because he shoots up from that safety spot. And it looked like one of the linemen kind of got him behind him, kind of pushed him out of the hole.
Three and a half minutes to play here in the third quarter. 27-0 is our score. Haynesville on top of Junction City. 12th meeting all time between the two programs. Haynesville holds the series advantage 9-2.
A quick handoff to 22 at the middle.
And met with resistance immediately. I believe that was Tolles and Estrada.
Estrada, he's been, what, man, he's a warrior out there.
He's been all over the place tonight.
Got Franklin back in the backfield again. I'm looking to see another give to him here.
Yeah, and he's the only one as well. Jackson's going to go in motion. Actually, they're going to give to Jackson.
Good defensive play right there.
Really good. That's DeBose again.
So this is going.
This is already working on a 7.5-minute drive for Haynesville.
Again, I missed it on the last play, but I'm pretty confident I know who's going to get the ball right here. I feel pretty confident.
Good call there, Daniel. On 4th and 3. It's given to number 4, and he picks up 5. Actually, he's going to give him 4. He's going to get down to the Junction City 45, so a conversion on 4th down. And that's going to go to Franklin. And I'll tell you what, fellas, when he runs the football, he runs.
Hey, look, he's hurt right there. Look, I kind of
like the way he got.
Tackle was. He's going to get up. A little shook up, but his neck's hurting him to leave.
He looks every time he runs, whether it's first carry of the ball game or 8th carry of the middle of the 4th quarter. He looks fresh every time he runs.
Now, he's looking to deliver punishment too.
Yeah, he is. They certainly don't shy away from which if you're a fullback in the wing, tee, you're definitely not.
Yeah, I don't think the kid's made a cut all night.
Yeah, you can't afford to shy away from contact. That's for sure. 2nd down and 4. They give to Jackson. He's going to try to get to the sticks, and he does. Picks up the 1st down, runs over a man at around the 26-yard line, lunges forward. Down inside the 25. We'll see where they mark him out of bounds. I believe maybe the 23, actually give him the 20, give him the 22.
Number 24 on the
Final
carry.
40 seconds here in the 3rd quarter.
And that's a Tornado 1st down.
So yeah, one more play hopefully this quarter.
Break the huddle. Jackson in motion. And they give right up the middle to Franklin. And that should do it for the 3rd quarter of action. Final 12 minutes are upon us. Timeout on the field. Junction City trailing Haynesville 27-0. We're back in 60 seconds on the Dragon Sports Network. Quarter change here in Junction City. Final 12 minutes of action are upon us. 27-0. Haynesville well in control of this one and driving for more. They're inside the red zone. Ball spotted down at the 16-yard line. And they're going to throw hot route up left side. A little too much trying to connect with Jackson.
You know, seeing that play also, I mean, I don't know if we ain't got a tight end or a H-back we can kind of depend on that, but that little hot route over the middle with no safeties, I mean, that'd been pretty effective.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, it would.
That's a play we've ran in the past.
We have ran, especially the last couple of years. It's been definitely been one.
I'd love to see Williams out of the backfield with a little screen.
3rd down and 5 to go. And that's going to give to, that's going to be to Turner, excuse me, Green. Green bounces off a man, stays on his feet. And actually, yes, good eyes there from the side judge. Calls him out at the 4.
Ball was carried by number 20 for the Golden Tornadoes, Green.
And he's out of bounds at the 4-yard line.
That brings up first down with ball on the 4-yard line for the Golden Tornadoes.
So now they actually marked it at the 3. And now Haynesville's going to call a timeout and talk things over. We'll step aside with them. Back in 30 on the Dragon Sports Network. Out of the timeout, Haynesville back to the offensive line of scrimmage. Dragons getting set defensively. Knocking on the door of the goal line. 4 rushing touchdowns for the Golden Tornado so far tonight. And just a couple yards away from potentially adding a 5th one. Is Junction City trying to run a man off the field. It's going to be a pitch to Green. He's going to have some space, and he's going to find the end zone for the touchdown. 19 seconds into the 4th quarter. It's been early touchdowns in both quarters here in the second half for Haynesville, and it's now 33-0 Golden Tornado on top of the Dragons. Now Rudd's in for the extra point attempt. Kick is, it is good.
Penalty for going at the center, maybe.
That would probably be tacked on to the kickoff. Timeout on the field, 33-0. Junction City trailing big against Haynesville. 11:41 to play, 4th quarter action. We're back in 30 on the Dragon Sports Network. Franklin with it teed up for Haynesville. Junction City at this point just trying to hopefully find the end zone before the end of the night. That's going to be a line drive kick, and with the penalty, that's going to have DeBose fielding it at the 2. He's going to run up the field and actually going to slip down as he crosses the 15. He'll get up to the, I believe, the 18-yard line.
I mean, he wants to make a play right there, but situational, You got to let that go. Get
You
up
do,
there. Get up
because
to
it's
the,
going to go into the end zone. You're going to
Yeah.
get it. You're going to get a lot better field position than what you have it right now. 11:35 to play in the ball game. Haynesville in control of this one. Fellas, I think it's safe to say at this point you want Junction City to exit healthy, and you want to still see them play with some pride here down the stretch.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, there's still – I mean, coming into this game, you knew Haynesville was going to be tough. They got some subs in now. But you'd like to see them be able to do something here to be able to build off to the next week.
For sure, definitely. Spot pass going to be incomplete. Caught Thurman kind of backpedaling. It falls on the turf, and it'll bring up second down.
Pass intended for number 15 is incomplete.
Junction City will remain home next week as they will open up conference play as the Monster comes to town. Falcon Panthers will arrive in the border town next Friday night. Kickoff set for 7 p.m. Conference games will be played at 7 p.m. And, of course, we'll have all the action for you live around 6:15. Actually, maybe even a little earlier. That pass is going to be complete out to Jay Carter. Good catch from Carter at the 27-yard line.
Pass was completed.
Bring up a manageable third down for Junction City, 3rd and 2 for the Dragons. They got to get to the 29 to keep the drive alive. Operate off the left hash. Clock nears the 11-minute mark here in quarter number 4. DeBose is going to roll out, and he's going to throw on the run. The pass is complete to Thurman across the 40 at the 43. A 16-yard pitch and catch from DeBose to Thurman, and for the first time tonight, that's consecutive completions for the Dragons.
I mean, you like to see that right there. I mean, that's something you'd like to see a little bit earlier in the game, but if you can get it right now, just like we said, to build something for next week.
That brings up a Dragon first down.
1st and 10 for Junction City. After the reception by Thurman, his second of the night. And that's going to be a direct snap by Williams and wrapped up and tossed down quickly.
Oh, my goodness. That's a big old boy right there.
That is a large man.
That was number 4, Williams on the carry.
Big number 76. We don't ever actually have him on the roster.
Brooks for the Golden Tornado.
Brooks, I believe, is what was said over the PA.
It's a second string out there right now, Pump, and you see a kid that size right
That tells you all you need to know about the talent on this Haynesville football team. Key and Thurman to the top. Hudson in at wide receiver. DeBoe's going to jump pass, throw on the run. Incomplete. Was trying to hook up with Hudson.
Got turned around and lost his footing.
At around about the 21-yard line.
Pass was intended
So to bring up 3rd down and 8.
for the Dragons, incomplete. Brings up 3rd down with 8 to go.
DeBoe's out of the shotgun. Twins receiver to each side. Sets, throws over the middle, a little too high, in and out of the grasp of Owens. Like he got both hands on it, though.
You know, it looks like, I mean, tonight we haven't seen that split back formation with the double tights. Kind of makes you wonder if they're kind of wanting to hold that back for conference, with conference coming up. Just not put it on film
that much.
a week prior, maybe.
Rolling, yeah, only show it really once. Or maybe one of those things where you realized how successful you were able to run it in Lafayette County, so you're going to run it, and then now you want to kind of keep it in your back pocket.
Or, I mean, this is a game to try other stuff out, too, see if you can work on.
And a good
That's a
block
good
pickup by
pickup.
Williams. He's going to chunk one down. He's got Carter, and it's complete at the 9-yard line. He stumbles down to, to the 7. And a big pitch and catch there from DeBose to Carter. 43 yards.
Huge play right there. I mean, Carter, if
he can get some separation.
He's a heck of an athlete.
9:35 clock ticking. Junction City in the purple zone. DeBose takes the snaps. Going to look right side. Going back up top, and a lot of contact.
What a catch.
Carter.
What a catch.
Oh, man, a flag. And it's going to be a touchdown. A 12-yard on the fade route. DeBose to Carter. And a touchdown for the Dragons. Cue up the fight song, fellas.
I'm ready to hear it.
There you go. Touchdown, Junction City. Cue that thing up. And he caught it with one hand.
Reaching over to the defender. Bringing it back in.
Very impressive along that far side.
Been waiting to see Cole Henry all night.
And a low snap. Henry's kick is going to be up and through.
It is true.
And timeout on the field. Junction City hits Pater. Couple big passes. Carter, he finds the end zone with a one-handed grab and a man all over him. 34-7 is our score. Back in 30 on the DSN. Henry's kick goes out of bounds, and Haynesville will take it to start their second drive here in the fourth quarter. 34-7. Junction City showed some life offensively just moments ago. It was DeBose to Carter for 43 yards. Then they went right back to the well with a 12-yard fade, and the fade ball hauled in with one arm and a guy draped all over him. Good athleticism there from number 7.
All right.
34-7 is our score. Got some others up here help causing us to doubt what we just witnessed.
Best job I ever had, fellas.
And
there you go.
A little bit of in around. Good pursuit there from Junction City. That's the thing with the Dragons. The other teams start to play some reserves. Junction City doesn't really benefit in that area. They don't really have too many reserves. You got a lot of your go-to guys still out there making plays, and obviously good experience for them.
This is where you can move people around too.
Exactly. You can move people around. You can try new things, but also one of the big things that we hit on early in the season, although I know we're still early in the season, but first week or so was conditioning, and this is still huge opportunity to get some of that game conditioning in.
That's like Carpenter said. You kind of hated it. It's a fumble. Ball on the ground.
Ball is on the ground. It might have changed possessions here, coming in quickly, and it is. It is going to be Junction City football in plus territory. Spotted at around the 30, caught about the 37-yard line. 8:35 to play in the fourth quarter. I tell you what, boys, quick score right here. I'm not letting go of the rope yet.
But no, like we were.
I had to. I'm sorry.
Oh, my goodness.
In all seriousness, I love the fight out of Junction City.
No, definitely.
Absolutely.
Because it's one thing. I mean, the main thing is when you put that jersey on, you put that helmet on, it's got that decal across the side. You got to play with some pride. And it don't matter what the scoreboard looks like, who you're playing, where you're playing them. You play with pride.
It's gonna be all sides.
Certainly respect this bunch for still getting after it.
Oh, definitely. That's what we were talking about also right before the fumble right there. You talk about conditioning. That's the thing that Carpenter said, that he was kind of upset that they missed that game last week just for the conditioning purposes.
Exactly.
It definitely helps week in, week out being able to play a game. And, also they talked about getting a bye week, maybe try to fit one in there. But then also when you got this team with not that much depth, you kind of
And DeBose up left side was trying to connect with Carter, but he had to throw that a long ways.
That would have been a long throw.
That was a long throw from the far side of the field all the way back to the go route. Left side of the.
If he'd have hit, that'd probably been close to 50, 60 yards in the air, honestly. I mean, that's across the field like that.
Yeah, across the field like this. Far hash, and he went all the way back to the other hash in the end zone. Incompletion, stop the clock, 8:28 to go in the ball game. Thurman and Owens to the right, Key and Carter to the left. DeBose takes the snap, rolls out.
Go ahead and run it.
And he's going to throw back across his body in and out of the hands.
We got a flag right here
of Owens. It's going to be picked off, and I believe it's going to be taken the other way down the Haynesville sideline, and there's nobody going to get him. DeBose tries for the feet, and it's going to be a touchdown. On the interception return, there is a flag near the Junction City side sitting at around the 31-yard line.
We got a flag on the play.
Instead of just giving a symbol for what it's called, he's going to run all the way out there.
Yeah, he did, didn't he? He ran. Oh, boy, he's trying to get some mid-season conditioning in as well.
Look like it's going to be against Haynesville. He's communicating with Carpenter on this sideline. Got that pimp walk going for him.
And so actually it's going to be
penalty after the interception, I guess.
What could it have possibly been? The flag came out almost. It almost seemed simultaneously with.
It can't. You can't. I don't know. If they add it to the kick, I am going to be completely confused. I still haven't seen a call, a symbol, or anything like that. What is?
I didn't see it either. I saw it. He ran out. He didn't make the call, and he ran out to talk to the White Hat, and then the White Hat came over to talk to Coach Carpenter, and there was no signal made unless they picked it up. And now we've got flags on the far side.
Looks like offside against the Dragons.
Rudd in for the extra point, so the interception return is going to stand. High snap, it gets put down, and the kick is good. So timeout on the field, 41-7 is our score. Haynesville out in front of Junction City, 8:07 to play in the ball game, back in 60 on the Dragon Sports Network. Scoring Key with the kickoff return.
Maybe about a 20-yard return.
I believe it was. He's going to get it up near the 30. Actually, they're going to set it on the 30, so gets it to the 30 for Junction City. That's where Dragons got it 1st and 10. 7:43 to play in the fourth quarter. I believe the clock ran a little bit after it was down. Maybe some math issues in the press box. It's only 34, not 35. Going to operate out of the pistol. Twin receivers to the right, 2 to the left, give to Williams. And he's going to be wrapped up. No, he's not. He's going to keep running on his feet. That's going to be about a 3 or 4 yard gain when it could have been about a 2-yard loss. So Jordavion, he hasn't carried it much tonight.
If he'd got to the second level, I think he'd have gone right there. But he had a big man holding on to him right there.
A very large man.
Large man. He will be manning the Haynesville middle for several years. Clock nears the 7-minute mark here in the fourth quarter. Key and Owens to the left of the formation. Thurman and Carter to the right. Williams in the backfield. Whistles pre-snap. It's going to come from the I believe it was a delay of game. Delay of game penalty on Junction City.
Second down with 13 to go.
And it's going to be thrown over the middle. That's complete to Owens across midfield at the 48-yard line.
Pass was received by number 9.
A 25-yard completion from DeBose to Owens, and hung on there in traffic after contact, and the Dragons have it in Haynesville territory. As the clock nears the 6.5-minute mark here in the fourth quarter. DeBose is going to look left, and he's going to launch one up left, double coverage, and nearly intercepted. Oh, wow. Rustin takes down Cabot.
Try to tell y'all.
And they
I don't want to listen to me, though. But
I should have listened. That's on me. El Dorado and Magnolia both winners. So after the incompletion, 2nd down and 10, 6:24 on the game clock. Direct snap to Williams.
Oh,
and he has popped at that second level, but he pops right up himself. And you could, fellas, I don't know about y'all, you could hear that up here.
I mean, we got headsets on.
Yeah.
Yes, you could hear that up here. My goodness.
It brings up 3rd down with 6 to go for the Dragons. We have a flag on the play.
And now offsides on Haynesville.
Look like 66 right here lined up.
So in the neutral zone,
Like offsides against the Golden
right defensive
Tornado.
end for Haynesville. So 3rd down and 1.
Yeah, false start, going to give it right back to him.
I believe Junction City, that was a far side of the field. Might have been Thurman, got a quick jump. Third down and 6 for Junction City. Ball at the Haynesville 43-yard line. DeBose in the shotgun. Takes the snap. Looks right. Going to throw the hot over the middle. Incomplete. They nearly thought it was going to be picked off. The backer was floated right in front of Thurman as he slid down to the turf trying to dig up the pass. Ball is incomplete. So now 4th down for Junction City. And that's going to go to Williams, and really nowhere to go. Kept his legs churning, but dropped for a loss. The Dragons will turn it over on downs with 5:41 to play in the fourth quarter. Dragon defense will head back onto the field.
A score that matters the Junction a little bit. Next week they take on the Falk Panthers. Score I just got last was Smackover 40, Falk 14.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and Smackover, they kind of got the
same situation.
Same
Junction.
situation Junction does.
Lack of
depth.
Yep. Still have some playmakers, but lack of depth. So that is interesting. Now, where they played that one at, Daniel? Do you know if they were?
I'm not sure. I think it was at Smackover.
Oh, okay.
Next week Junction goes to Falk. I believe. I might be
Falk
wrong about
comes
that.
here.
Yeah, it's here.
Okay, it's
Yeah.
here.
And so a flag thrown on the first play. It's going to be against Haynesville. Back to Golden Tornado of Junction City. Trying to run in what extras they have, trying to get them into the ball game, maybe potentially even moving some players around. So after the holding penalty, it's going to back Haynesville up inside their 40 at the 38-yard line. 41-7 is our score. Golden Tornado well out in front of this one. And that's going to be kept on the ground and right up the gut.
Coming back,
and they will come back. It's going to be somewhat of a hold or a block in the back.
Touchdown, Golden Tornado. Ball was carried by number 34, Williams, for the Golden
And it's going to be
Tornado.
another hold, so a second consecutive hold by the Golden Tornado will back them up.
I need to apologize, Pump. My person that gave me my info was wrong. Smackover's playing Hampton.
Smackover's playing Hampton. So, all righty. Well,
Not as big of a deal.
I'm sure the Bucks and the Dogs are getting after it up there in Calhoun County, but okay, all right.
That's a
Honest
Falk
mistake,
Hampton.
Falk Hampton.
Jesus. What's
Yeah, it's honest mistake. Tomato.
That's fair. That's fair. 5:21 to play, fourth quarter action, clock running. So consecutive holding penalties has it first and Hardy Mart for Haynesville.
Hardy Mark, man?
Whew. So they just fellas almost led off with, so they keep it on the ground as if that's not been the MO all night, but minimal gain there. Moves the football up near the 35-yard line. Clock under 5 minutes. Going to be a sprint out and wrapped up near the original line of scrimmage. It almost looked like the ball carrier was potentially wanting to flip it back to
a little pitch.
a guy in the backfield. He was almost parallel with him. I don't know how that would have worked. It's third down and 11
Third down for the Golden Tornado.
for Haynesville.
11 to go.
And that's going to be kept on the ground and wrapped up. That was
Hudson.
Hudson. And just kind of showed his strength there. Just wrapped up and just tossed to the ground the ball carrier. And so it's going to be a fourth down for Haynesville. Clock under 4 minutes. Mark it at the Golden Tornado 47-yard line.
Williams checking back in after a quick little breather. He came up with a huge sack earlier.
I was about to say that as soon as you mentioned it, I saw him make his way on the field. I remember that sack he had.
First half.
Really untouched off that edge.
I'm not going to get that. What are they going to call back here?
Flag on the play.
Old pom-pom pass. You see that down there?
I see it down there. I saw it. Brought back some memories, fellas.
It's
That
a-
old pom-pom
Used to
pass.
chant for that stuff back in the pep rallies.
I
Back
ain't
Man.
gonna lie, fellas. I didn't even watch the last play because I was digging it.
False start against the Golden Tornado. Brings up fourth down with 13 to go.
4th down and 11. Correction, 12 for Haynesville. And going to keep it on the ground, and a good pursuit there by Junction City. And ball may have fell out. It won't matter. It'll be a turnover on downs, regardless if the fumble stands or not. So Junction City will take over on offense. Big opportunity here for the Dragons. 3:05 to play to potentially find the end zone here one more time before the end of play.
I'd like to see him try to punch it in one more time with this last. See, yeah, I guess the people on the clock don't know the running clock.
Well,
right
the
now.
official, I did see one of the officials on the field actually motion to run it, so I don't know if it was just agreed upon to
Maybe so.
run it or what, but DeBose to throw. He's going to look left, fires it left, a good ball, but just a little short of Carter.
I mean, Carter, he's got to see that ball's not going to come
exactly.
to him.
He's got to make sure he goes
come back
to the football.
The ball's not always going to come right to you.
Yeah.
You definitely got to come and fight back for it.
Fellas, we'll go ahead and venture into somewhat of a post-game show here. 2 minutes to go, clock ticking here in week number 3. 41-7 obviously wasn't Junction City's night. We knew it was going to be a tall task, a very well-coached and highly talented Haynesville team. But if you're Junction City, this is one you watch the film, you regroup, and you look forward to somewhat of the season inside the season that is conference play. As DeBose throws on the run, he's got Owens who camps right there at the 20. He gets down inside the 15, mark him at the 12. And Junction City in business here, potentially find the end zone before the ball game ends.
That's what you do as a receiver right there, too. I mean, you see your quarterback running out, you try to find the hole so that he can get it to you. And that was a good job by Owens.
Exactly. When you realize your quarterback's scrambling, you don't necessarily have to scramble with him all the time. Just sit and let him find you. Thurman checks back into the game. Hudson comes to the sideline. And over the middle, draped on his back. And they'll get the call. And so it'll be pass interference. That'll help Junction City out. Final 90 seconds on the clock. Tolles. DeBose splits a man, and he's going to try to race to the end zone. Good block by Carter, and touchdown Junction City. Good play all around by the Dragons. Still playing with a lot of pride there. And the Dragons are in the end zone for the second time this half. And it's 41-13 with 75 seconds remaining.
I really need Cole Henry to hit this for the over-under. Now we got fire.
We got a fire, and there are going to be some upset bettors tonight. Bad beat right there. Bad beat. 41-13 is our score. DeBose with an athletic move to get to the pylon. A good block by Carter to keep his man on him in the end zone. And we'll step aside back in 30 on the Dragon Sports Network.
A lot of miscommunication out here.
Yeah, miscommunication, trying to figure out what's – so there's 12 men on the field.
Sending a guy in real late all the way to the opposite side of the field.
Yeah, they sent a man on. They had 11 on the field, and they sent a 12th one on, and now Key is shaken up, which I don't know. And so Key makes his way off to the sideline. Anthony Williams helps him. Now he will take his place back on the kick unit. And Hudson pops that one up. That's going to be a live football. It's going to be fielded. And good coverage there by Junction City. And that should do it. That'll run out the clock. 41-13 is the final. Junction City falls at home to Haynesville, and they will fall to 1-2 on the season. Fellas, Daniel, I'll start with you. Your thoughts on the ball game tonight?
I mean, it was a tough matchup coming in. You already knew that. I mean, Haynesville, it's a good tradition-rich football program, but they haven't really – they definitely – every single year you can count on them coming in with good size and good athletes. And, I mean, they just outmanned Junction tonight. I mean, that's all you can really say. I mean, when you got a fullback that's as big as your biggest offensive lineman or defensive lineman, I mean, that's tough to go against. But, I mean, you saw some things that you could work on. I mean, as far as like we talked about, when you got DeBose rolling out and you saw Owens just kind of find a hole and get an open spot for him to hit him. I mean, you see something like that, you could continue to try to learn from that and build from that and try to help week to week. I mean, there's going to be – I mean, it's like I said. I mean, there's still improvements to be made, but it's tough to see it when you got a game like this.
Derek, I know when you look at the scoreboard and you look at the margin of defeat, it's one of those things. It's like, yeah, it was a tough one, but there are some positives. The defense did have a couple of good stands. You saw them play with pride. So, talk a little bit about some of the things they can at least carry that were positive night into next week and into the season.
I mean, going into really about the middle of the second quarter, you saw the defense start making adjustments, and we gave ourselves plenty of opportunities. We just didn't really capitalize on them, and you just gotta go into next week, and when the other team gives you something, you got to take advantage of it. And I mean, really, there was just a lot of stuff we could clean up on offense going into next week. We know what works for us, we know what don't. And the kids just better be ready Monday to practice hard, because I know Carpenter's got plenty to say.
That's right. And plenty to say is probably definitely what's needed. Again, Junction City falls tonight. 41-13 is the final. The Dragons back at home next week. The Panthers come to town to open up conference play. Kickoff is set for 7 p.m. You know exactly where you can find all the action. That'll be on the Dragon Sports Network. We'll have it for you live from start to finish as always. Folks, we thank you for joining us. We hope you have a wonderful rest of your Friday night and a blessed weekend, and we will see you next Friday night from the border town. Good night, and God bless.
The following has been an exclusive presentation of the Dragon Sports Network.